Chevrolet Chevelle Second Generation, 1968 to 1972. The 1968 Chevelle received an all-new distinctly sculpted body with tapered front fenders and a rounded beltline. The car adopted a long hood/short deck profile with a high rear quarter kick-up. While all 1967 Chevelle models rode a 115-inch, 2,900mm, wheelbase, the 1968 coupes and convertibles now rode a 112-inch, 2,800mm, wheelbase. The sedans and wagons turned to a 116-inch, 2,900mm, span. Tread width grew an inch front and rear. Hardtop coupes featured a semi-fastback, flowing roofline, with a long hood and short deck, mimicking the Camaro, which itself was an answer to the Ford Mustang. Top trim models, including the SS 396 and new luxury Concours, featured GM's new hideaway wiper system. Lesser Chevelles would get that change later. The entry-level Chevelle 300, 131 to 132 van prefix, was available as a pillared coupe and/or station wagon, Nomad, while the 300 Deluxe and Nomad Custom, 133 or 134 van prefix, had a two-door hardtop added to the lineup. Fourth and fifth van characters will be 37. With the previous 300 Deluxe, the hardtop was available with the Malibu and SS 396 but not the base 300/Deluxe in the USA, not counting those produced for the Canadian market. The Super Sport, SS 396 Sport Coupe, Convertible, and El Camino pickup, became series on its own. Chevrolet produced 60,499 SS 396 Sport Coupes, 2,286 convertibles, and 5,190 El Caminos. 1968 was the only year the El Camino body style would get its own SS 396 series designation, 13,880. Government-mandated side marker lighting was incorporated, with early 1968 SS 396 light bezels seen with the SS 396 nomenclature. At some point in the later production cycle, the engine callout had a 396 also shared with the Chevy 2 Nova SS. The side marker bezels, also sourced from the Chevy 2 Nova in 307, 327, and 396 displacements, had the engine displacement except for the 6-cylinder models. Black accented Super Sports had F70/14 red striped tires and a standard 325 horsepower 396 cubic inch turbojet V8 engine with the special twin-domed hood. 350 and 375 horsepower 396 engines were optional. The SS 396 Sport Coupe started at $2,899. Or $236 more than a comparable Malibu with its 307 cubic inch V8. All vinyl bucket seats and a console were optional. 3 luxury Concours options became available in March 1968 for the 4-door sedan, the 4-door sport sedan, and the hardtop coupe, and consisted of special sound insulation, and a deep padded instrument panel with simulated wood grain accents and all vinyl color-keyed interiors. Interiors were sourced and shared with select Buick, Oldsmobile, or Pontiac body patterns. During the middle of the 1968 model year, some Chevrolet A bodies, including the El Camino, ended up with interior door panels shared with the Buick or Oldsmobile bodies. Special, Skylark, where supply and demand issues forced a substitution. And during the April 1968 production month, in the wake of the assassination of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., there were some work stoppages, for example strikes. A ribbed stainless steel panel was bolted to the rear taillight panel and a Concours by Chevrolet emblem on the rear deck lid. Other options included power windows and door locks. With the hardtop, the rear option is a horseshoe floor shifter with integrated console, with bucket seats, sourced from the SS. These Concours options, ZK5, ZK6, and ZK7, should not be confused with the 2 Concours station wagons. At the time, the ZK5, ZK6, and ZK7 Concours package was the equivalent of the Caprice. Also new for 1968 was the elimination of the term sedan for the 2-door pillar body style. This was now called a coupe, or pillar coupe, while the two-door hardtop remained a sport coupe. These coupe, sport coupe designations would continue into 1969 as well. The Conqueror Estate wagon was one of 4 distinct Chevelle wagon models. A one-year Nomad Custom was offered. Regular Chevelle engines started with a 140 horsepower, 100 kilowatts, Turbo Thrift 6 or the new 200 horsepower, 150 kilowatts, Turbo Fire 307 V8, and a 325 horsepower, 242 kilowatts, version of the 327 cubic inch V8. Manual transmission cars got GM's air injection reactor, AIR, smog pump. New federal safety mandated equipment included side marker lights, as well as shoulder belts for outboard front seat occupants on cars built after December 1, 1967. 1969 Chevelles were billed as America's most popular midsize car. They showed only minor changes for 1969, led by revised front-end styling. A single chrome bar-connected quad headlights, which became a familiar Chevrolet trademark, with a revised front grille, now cast in ABS plastic, and a slotted bumper held the parking lights. Taillight lenses were larger and more vertical, flowing into the quarter panels. Smaller side marker lighting bezels were phased in, shared with the Camaro and using the lens assembly as the previous year. Front vent windows, hardtop and convertibles only, began to fade away now that Astro ventilation, first introduced on the 1966 Buick Riviera, which was used a year earlier on the Camaro and Caprice, was sending outside air into several Chevelle models. The Chevelle lineup slimmed down to Nomad, 300 Deluxe, Greenbrier, Malibu, Conqueror, and Conqueror Estate series, and the base 300 series was history. No longer a series of its own, the SS 396 turned into a $347.60 option package for any two-door model. That meant not just a convertible, sport coupe, or pickup, but even the pillared coupe and sport coupe in the lower-end 300 Deluxe series, except the base 300 Deluxe El Camino pickup. Fewer SS 396 option 300 Deluxe coupes and sport coupes were built than their Malibu counterparts, and they are solid gold for collectors. The Super Sport option included a 325 horsepower 396 cubic inch V8 beneath the double-domed hood, along with a blackout grille displaying an SS emblem and a black rear panel. More potent editions of the 396 engine also made the options list, developing 350 or 375 horsepower, 280 kilowatts. SS 396s produced from this point on shared the same van prefix with the Malibu Sport Coupe, 136, with the exception of the 300 Deluxe-based SS 396s using 134, where the original build sheet and or Protecto plate, which is an aluminum tag included with the original sales invoice from Chevrolet dealers, can ID a genuine SS, especially for a numbers matching original which is unaltered. However, the VIN number alone cannot ID a genuine SS as in previous years. Around an estimated 323 Chevelle two-door hardtops were fitted with an L72 427 cubic inches, 7.0 liters, rated at 425 bhp, 431 PS, 317 kilowatts, at 5,800 revolutions per minute and 460 pounds-feet, 624 Nm, at 4,000 revolutions per minute of torque, where some Chevrolet dealers use the central office production order. This also included some Camaros and Novas of the same model year. Some Copos were sold through select Chevrolet dealerships, and out of the 323 Copo orders, a confirmed 99 were sold through the Yenko Chevrolet dealership in Canonsburg, PA. During the 1969 model year, a police package, RPOB07, was available on the Chevelle 300 Deluxe 4-door sedan, where some were optioned with the RPOL35, 396, motor along with a boxed frame, also shared with fleet orders, for example taxicabs and rental cars. At the time the police option was reintroduced since the 1964-65 model years, At the time, midsize squads came with economy powertrain, usually in the case of the Chevelle third generation Chevrolet inline 6. The 300 Deluxe squads was not a sales success since the market was dominated by rival manufacturer Chrysler Corporation, where its B platform, and its full-sized sedans, outsold its competitors. Chevelle station wagons came in 3 levels: Conqueror, Nomad, and Greenbrier, the last a badge formerly used on the Corv or van. A new dual-action tailgate operated either in the traditional manner or as a panel-type door. Wagons stretched 208 inches, 5,300 millimeters, overall versus 197 inches, 5,000 millimeters, for coupes. Also, the Conquer option package, ZK5, ZK6, and ZK7, from the previous year was continued. New round instrument pods replaced the former linear layout. Chevelle options included headlight washers, power windows and locks, and a rear defroster. Chevy's midsize production rose this year. About 7% of all minibus had a 6-cylinder engine, while about 86,000 came with the SS 396 option. All 1969 Chevelles had a new locking steering column 1 year ahead of the federal requirement, and headrests required for all cars sold in the U.S. after January 1, 1969. In 1969, Chevrolet developed a steam-powered concept vehicle, designated the C124, based on a Chevelle fitted it with a 50-horsepower Bressler steam engine in place of its gasoline engine. The Bressler was based on the Doble steam engine. In 1970, sheet metal revisions gave the bodies a more squared-up stance following the Coke bottle styling, and interiors were also redesigned. The 1970 Chevelle shared many sheet metal body parts with the 1970 Buick Skylark. Both are GM automobiles and have interchangeable sheet metal. They are also the only 2 muscle cars to share the same roofline. The 1970 Chevelle came in Sport Coupe, Sport Sedan, Convertible, 4-door sedan, a couple of wagons, and Coup Utility, the El Camino, body styles. Only 3 of these, Malibu Sport Coupe, Malibu Convertible and El Camino Pickup, were available with a choice of one of 2 SS options: RPOZ25 with the SS 396, 402 SID, engine, and RPOZ15 with the new 454 SID engine. The base model was now simply called Chevelle in lieu of a former base 300 Deluxe, and was only available as a Sport Coupe or 4-door sedan. In Canada, the base series retained its 300 Deluxe name, with appropriate badging on each front fender just behind the front wheel well. The 300 Deluxe 2-door sedan was cancelled and replaced by the base Chevelle Sport Coupe, a 2-door pillarless hardtop. The hardtop, convertible, and sedan received the upgraded sheet metal, but the station wagons and El Camino retained the previous year sheet metal panels, which went on for the next 2 model years. Station wagons were the entry-level Nomad, the Chevelle-level Greenbrier, the Malibu-level Conqueror, and an upscale Conqueror Estate. New options included power door locks and a stock-mounted wiper control. Production was expanded to the GM Arlington assembly plant in Arlington, Texas, where the Chevelle was assembled with its corporate siblings, in this case the Oldsmobile Cutlass. Engine choices ranged from the standard 155 horsepower, 116 kilowatts, 6-cylinder and 200 horsepower 307 cubic inch V8, to a pair of 350 V8s and a pair of 402 engines. RPOZ25 SS equipment option included one of these 402 SID engines but was still marketed as a 396. The second 402 SID engine was available under RPO, rated at 330 horsepower with single exhaust, and was available in any V8 series except an SS option Malibu or El Camino. 1970 also saw the introduction of the 454 SID engine and was only available with the RPOZ15 SS equipment option. The base 454 cubic inches, 7.4 liters, engine was rated at 360 bhp, 365 PS, 268 kilowatts, which was also available with Cal induction, and the optional LS6 version equipped with a single 4-barrel 800 CFM Holley carburetor produced 450 bhp, 456 PS, 336 kilowatts, at 5,600 revolutions per minute and 500 pounds-feet, 678 Nm, at 3,600 revolutions per minute of torque. There were 4,475 LS6 Chevelles produced. The SS396 Chevelle included a 350 horsepower, 260 kilowatts, turbojet 396 V8, special suspension, power dome hood, black accented grille, resilient rear bumper insert, and wide oval tires on sport wheels. Though a 375 horsepower, 280 kilowatts, Cal induction version was available, few were sold in favor of the newly introduced 454 engine during late 1969 timeframe. The LS5 454 cubic inch V8 produced 360 horsepower, 270 kilowatts, in standard form, and a Cal induction version was also available. The LS6 produced a claimed 450 gross HP in solid lifter, high compression guise. You can make our tough one even tougher, the brochure explained, by adding Cal induction to either the SS396 or the SS454. Step on the gas, and a scoop open to shoot an extra breath of cool air into the engine air intake. Like second wind to a distance runner. Neither functional hood lock pins nor hood index stripes were standard with either SS option, but were part of the optional ZL2 Cal induction hood option. The 454 cubic inches, 7.4 liters, LS5 V8 was rated at 360 horsepower, 270 kilowatts. Although the 1971 Chevelle retained the 1970 body, it was treated to new front end and rear end styling that included large power beam single unit headlights, a reworked grille and bumper, and integral park/signal/marker lights. The grille was widened and featured a bright horizontal bar that divided it into two sections. At the center of this bar was a large Chevy Bodie Formula bus, or a large SS emblem for the SS models. The grille on the Super Sport was painted flat black, other models got a silver finished grille. Base Chevelles got a thinner, plain bar with no ornamentation. A small Chevelle nameplate was located in the lower left corner of the grille. New dual round taillights were integral with the back bumper. Because SS models suffered heavy insurance surcharges, Chevrolet introduced a heavy Chevy at mid-year, which was based on the base Chevelle, and was available with any V8 engine except the 454, which was exclusive to SS models. The heavy Chevy, RPOYF3, was only available with the base Chevelle Sport Coupe, 13,437, and was primarily a dress-up option, and even it was limited to options available on the standard Chevelle Sport Coupe, vinyl carpeting, front bench seat, no center console shift, etc. Chevrolet specifications for 1971 included both gross and net horsepower figures for all engines. The standard Chevelle SS engine was a 2-barrel 350 cubic inch V8 rated at 245 gross, 165 net, horsepower. Optional was a 4-barrel carbureted version of the 350 V8 rated at 275 gross, 200 net with dual exhaust and 175 net with single exhaust, horsepower. The 402 SID big block engine continued to be optional as the SS396 but was only available in 1 horsepower rating, 300 gross, 260 net, horsepower, and was not available with Cal induction. The base LS5 454 V8 produced 365 gross and 285 net horsepower, but Cal induction was available that produced more power because of the air induction and louder exhaust system. The LS6 454 option, which was originally announced as a regular production option on the Chevelle SS for 1971, was dropped early in the model year, and no official records indicate that any 1971 Chevelles were assembled with the LS6 engine. For 1971, The SS option could be ordered with any optional V8 and became more of a dress-up option than a performance option. The SS option was reduced to one RPO code, RPOC15, and was only available for the Chevelle Malibu. This RPO code required any optional engine and transmission available in the Chevelle lineup. Since the 307 V8 was the standard base V8 in 1971, it could not be ordered with the SS option. One had to order the LS3402 or the LS5454, or one of the two 350 V8 engines, L65 or L48, which reintroduced the small block to the SS option for the first time since the 1965 model year for USA market Chevelles. GM mandated all divisions design their engines to run on lower octane regular, low lead or unleaded gasoline. To permit usage of the lower octane fuels, all engines featured low compression ratios, 9:1 and lower, well below the 10.25-11.25:1 range on high-performance engines of 1970 and earlier. This move reduced horsepower ratings on the big block engines to 300 for the 402 cubic inch V8, but the LS5454 option got an advertised 5 horsepower increase to 365. Both 350 V8 engines, as well as the dual exhaust 402 SID V8 engine, were available without the SS option. Only the LS5454 V8 required the SS option. A single exhaust version of the 402 SID engine existed in 1970 with 330 gross HP and in 1972 with 210 net HP. In 1971 the single exhaust version of the 402 SID engine produced 206 net HP, but only appeared in the full-size Chevrolet brochure. 1972 Chevelles featured single-unit parking, side marker lights on their front fenders, outside of a revised twin-bar grille. All minibus had concealed wipers. The SS equipment option requirements remained the same as those in 1971, any optional V8. The 1972 Chevelle series had wide enough appeal to qualify as America's second best-selling car. Base versions again included a 4-model wagon series. Upscale versions were minibus including the convertible models. More than 24,000 Malibu sport sedans were built, with a standard 307 cubic inch V8 rated at 130 net horsepower. This 4-door hardtop used the same body as the 1968-71 models, and although it was attractive, it was the least popular body style in the lineup. It was not available with the overhead valve turbo thrift 6-cylinder engine. With that V8, the Malibu Sport Coupe was the top seller by far, starting at $2,923. The 6-cylinder version ran $90 less. Powertrain options included the 175 horsepower 350 cubic inch V8 and 240 horsepower 402 cubic inch, still known as a 396, as well as a 454 that produced 270 horsepower, 200 kilowatts, under the net rating system. Chevelles sold in California were not available with the 307 V8, but had a 350 cubic inch engine. Through the 1970s, California cars often had different powertrains than those marketed in states with less stringent emissions regulations. The 1972 Chevelle SS had a top engine rated at 270 net HP, 201 kilowatts, conforming with GM's decree that all engines were to be rated at their net engine ratings. All other engines on the SS roster were unchanged from 1971. 1972 was the last year for the Cal induction option for the 454 SID engine and was not even mentioned in the 1972 Chevelle brochure. Chevelle wagons measured 10 inches, 250 millimeters, shorter than full-size wagons and weighed about half a ton less, but sold much slower. Model year output totaled 49,352 Chevelles and 290,008 minibus, plus 54,335 station wagons. Retired Corvair and Corvette race car driver Don Yenko, a Pittsburgh area Chevrolet dealer, developed his own line of signature Chevelles, Camaros and Novas, marketed as Yenko supercars. At the time, the largest engine being installed in Chevelle S's was the 396 SID V8. Yenko used the central office production order system, which normally filled special equipment fleet orders, to create a special Copo 9562 that included the L72 427 cubic inches, 7.0 liters, with a single 4-barrel 800 CFM Holley carburetor that produced 425 bhp, 431 PS, 317 kilowatts, at 5,600 revolutions per minute and 460 pounds-feet, 624 Nm, at 4,000 revolutions per minute of torque unit and the needed drivetrain upgrades. A few other dealers ordered the package Yenko created and sold them as their own supercars. Nicky, Berger, Skunshel, etc.